Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. In today's video we are going to talk about 10 spooky guitars that have come out in the recent years. These are 10 guitars that may not necessarily be scary, but definitely have a horror theme about them, and they look pretty intimidating. So let's get to it. First guitar we are going to talk about is the ESP Boris Karloff, the Mummy guitar. This guitar you easily recognise as basically being played at every live Metallica show since he first got it in 1992. I think the extras in the Cunning Stunts video is where him and his guitar tech show it off for the first time. So the specs are as follow. It's made of an older body, neck through. The neck is 3-piece maple, standard Kirk Hammett specs. The fretboard's rosewood, 25.5-inch scale, 24 extra jumbo frets. It's got an original Floyd Rose, the Goater tuners, all in black. There's been 5 models of this guitar over time, just changing the inlays. But ESP have never sold it as a model. It is just Kirk Hammett's signature guitar. But you can find them as fakes if you really want to buy one. But if you want something out of the same horror theme from Kirk Hammett's collection, you can get something like the Demonology or the White Zombie. He consistently has guitars made with the movie covers on them. We've seen a lot of them live. He's had quite a lot of them made as signatures that you can buy. And they also come with a badass tombstone case. So they are pretty cool. Coming in at number 9 is ZAKK Wylde's Epiphone Graveyard Disciple. This is one that I remember from when I first started playing guitar. The Graveyard Disciple is the brainchild of the legendary guitarist Zakk Wylde from Black Label Society and Ozzy Osbourne. It was the idea of creating something like the Bo Diddley guitar used by ZZ Top's Billy Gibbons, but making it more metal. It was in production from 2010 to 2016. It featured a mahogany body, glued-in maple neck, ebony fretboard, and 22 medium jumbo frets, an original Floyd Rose trend system, as well as an EMG HZ pickup, Grover tuners, mother of pearl topped control knobs, which isn't metal in my opinion, but you do you, and its very own coffin case. The retail price of the guitar was $1,499, but if you can find one now, you'd be paying a hell of a lot more money than that. Coming in at number 8 is one of my favourites, the LTD Tales from the Grave. So back in 2012, you could have taken delivery of one of 325 of this limited edition LTD. It was made in collaboration with Legacy Enterprises and Monsterverse, and it called Tales from the Grave. It features the artwork from the original Dracula movie. It had a pretty decent spec too. An older body, a bolt-on maple neck, 25.5-inch scale, 24 extra jumbo frets with the custom inlays, string through body, so no Floyd Rose on this one, and featured the one EMG 81 pickup. Only having the one pickup is obviously a downside, but it allowed to show more of the artwork. You also got a custom coffin hard shell case for it, and it was only $999, which, when you think about it, for a limited just over 300 run of a guitar, you can't complain at that. I haven't found one for sale. I have looked to see if I could find one for sale to see what they're going for now, and I just cannot find one, so people are obviously keeping on with this one. In at number 7 on this list is another entry from ESP. It is the custom shop Shinigami. So it's made by Maso Omuro, if I've got that right, in the ESP custom shop, and it's an absolute masterpiece. Shinigami means God of Death, and this is taken from the description on the ESP website about this guitar. So it features a slashing scythe directly into the body. The God of Death shows his face through the cyclone that has formed a crack spread throughout the body, and he seems ready to cut someone's neck at any moment. It was made to have a brother guitar, which is the RV Snake, and it follows a similar concept. having a stake through the guitar and a snake wrapped around it. Truly a badass piece of craftsmanship, and it's worth any amount of money that you need to pay for it, in my opinion. If you could get this man to make one of these for you and you had the budget, you are crazy if you don't go for it. Number 6, and probably the worst entry on this list for me, and again it's from ESP, is the ESP LTD Devil Girl. The Red Devil was made from 2002 to 2003 and was limited to around 100 units. The body is actually made of moulded plastic composite. It has a 24.75 inch scale length neck that is made from maple and bolted onto the body with a rosewood fretboard. It has the tail inlay coming from the body that ends at the 12th fret and then has little flame inlays. It's stringed through with an EMG HC H4 pickup in the bridge, and although it's not pretty and I really don't like it, it is definitely a unique piece, and there are only 100 of them. Let me know in the comments below what your opinion of any of the guitars are on this list, and if you've got a better one that you think should be on this list. So at number 5, and I am going to butcher the crap out of this, is the Lieber Gigerstein. This mad looking guitar was commissioned by Chris Stein from Blondie. It is based on the artworks of H.R. Giger. The asymmetrical biomechanical body is hand carved and adorned with carbon graphite, assorted biological materials, and bronze castings. The neck and the 6-fingered peg hand is made from carbon graphite fibre and is made to look like the hand from the monster in the film Aliens, which H.R. Giger designed, if you didn't know. And you can bet with a price tag of $64,000, it's a one-of-a-kind special guitar, because not everyone can afford that. With entry number 4, I'll have to change my previous remark and say that this is by far the ugliest guitar in this list. It is the MINARIK guitar's Medusa. So though I think it's the worst guitar on this list, you have to admire the actual engineering that has gone into this one and the craftsmanship on things like the fretboard. This is taken from the MINARIK website. The longer blade-shaped lower left side of the body is engineered as a bass frequency chamber. The chamber gives the Medusa a low frequency range that surpasses any guitar on the market. The scroll-shaped lower right side of the guitar almost has half the surface area mass. Combining this with the custom tone chambering, and you have one of the most enhanced high frequency generating areas ever built. So although it is ugly, there is a purpose to what they're doing with the body on this guitar. So these two opposing engineering features give the Medusa a tonal range that has to be heard to be believed. Now, I've never heard it. I'd advise after this video, go check them out on YouTube and just see what all this talk is about. So the classic violin-shaped C cutouts offer the perfect pedestal for the beautifully sculpted tuning fork upper bouts. MINARIK again ventures into stylistic new territory by having the abalone binding leave the outside of the body to help create the blade look on the bass frequency chamber's beveled edge. Given that they have gone through this effort, this thing is damn cool and it makes the list. But it is not a guitar that you would look at and say that's pretty. At number 3, I couldn't find much info on this guitar, and it is yet another entry from the ESP custom shop. It's the Flaming Skull. So dreamt up by New York City designer Jimmy DiResta, the Flaming Skull boasted a shrieking skeletal tailpiece and a flame grilled fretboard. Later, ESP have made a graphic printed version of this guitar rather than the hand-carved version like this, but if you want it, then it's no problem. Just cough up the $15,000 price tag and it's all yours. So So in at number 2 on this list is my favourite and a guitar that I'm going to be looking for in the future because I really wanted one when it came out, is the BC Rich Joey Jordison's signature Warlock. Now this came out just as he was basically left Slipknot and gone into the Murder Dolls full time, and I have a cover of the Murder Dolls song Nowhere on my channel if you want to go and check that out after this video. I'll probably put it in a card up at the top. BC Rich made him a badass signature with badass specs. And the one that you bought off the shelf was the exact one that Joey was taking on tour with the Murder Dolls. So the specs for this was a NATO body with a bolt-on maple neck, a 25.5-inch scale, rosewood fretboard, and the only inlay being the Murder Dolls insignia around the 12th fret. So it had 24 jumbo frets for the shredders, and the blood splatter graphics looks like it was used for more than just a stage show. We know if you followed Joey Jordison and some of his signature stuff, if you're into the drums and stuff, he obviously used his own blood when he was printing the logo on his signature drumsticks. So if I remember correctly, and I could be wrong, the original paint job for this was done with his blood, and then they recreated it with paint for obviously all the models after that. But you can't deny it was freaking awesome. And in at number 1 with this pointy entry is the Dean Razorback. Although they probably aren't going to be making it anymore after the recent court case between Rita and Dean about Dimebag's estate, this is one of the last things that Dimebag left us before he was taken far too early, and unfortunately Dimebag never got to play one. But these guitars have come out in a variety of finishes over its lifetime and has extra points over the regular Dean ML shape. This is just an absolute weapon and without a doubt absolutely had to make this list. I can't wait to see if Rita decides on using another company to continue to make Dimebag's models, because I'd love to pick one up and try one out and definitely get it on this channel. And hopefully they have some awesome designs that are still from Dimebag's secret vault of magic where all these designs have come from in the past. It would be awesome. If you've enjoyed this video, guys, give it a like, give it a comment, subscribe to the channel, give me some suggestions for videos you want to see in the future, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.